here in Italy just yesterday in an important convention in the Ministry of Education, talking about digital as a second language and digital as a foreign language. So D, putting D as the first letter of the acronym. Sorry, Marina, you may turn off your microphone because...
Yes, sorry.
Okay, so I think it's better now. So I was saying that David Marsh, the CLIL, the inventor of the CLIL acronym, talks about digital second language and digital as a foreign language. So two new acronyms where D is the first letter to show how important the digital dimension is and strictly linked with language learning. And in one of his latest books, the CLIL trajectory, it talks about media-rich environments, students, and education. He points out the added value of technologies for CLIL in terms of immediacy of purpose, feedback, communication, user autonomy, and so on. So we have to innovate. So you are just attending a learning event on how to innovate teaching English, and that's why it's a must to change, because you understand learning is dynamic, and to not change means to keep growing. So it's our must to keep up with the new trends in innovation. And so these are the latest research trends that researchers are discussing about the importance of learning technologies for English or other languages, so for language learning and CLIL. Can I try to ask you to guess, or maybe you're familiar with all these acronyms. For example, can we start with CALL? Can anybody write in the chat the complete version, we can say, of CALL? So what does CALL stand for? Computer-assisted language learning, brilliant. And then for TEL, any ideas about TEL? Maria Rita maybe is a techno cleaner, right? Can recognize you. Yes, hello Maria Rita, so it's a sort of fun. What about TEL? TEL is pretty similar, but with the first letter that stands for, I can see some attempts. Technology, yeah, something very similar, technology-enhanced language learning. So it is just very good, yes. And then we have MOL, which is evolution. When we talk about MOL, we refer to the same, the use of technologies for language learning, but with specific reference to M. What does M refer to? Yes, I can see some time. Mobile, very good. Yes, I'll try to now change the microphone. Okay, the last one, TBLL. Any ideas? Sorry. Very good. Task-based language learning and technology. So task-based language learning is the approach that is quite popular for language learning according to tasks, to authentic tasks. And in this case, the added value is technologies. Sorry, Laura, I will try to lower my volume, but actually it's not that hard. Any better now? Laura, is it any better now? So Now it's too low. Because Laura said that it was too high. I will try to just one. I hope yes, Laura, you can also adjust your own volume. So the reports from the European Commission, CLIL and COL, you can find these reports freely online. This is the link. It's a report stating the importance of the connection between CLIL and COL, because language learning, but in general, learning technologies for languages and for CLIL. So I strongly recommend you to have a look at it, because there are also some case studies from different countries. Has anybody had the opportunity to read it? Maybe technically, yes, because of course, we talked about it, Margarita, maybe yes, I'm sure. Yeah, Laura too, very good. So it's becoming more popular because the European Commission is also recommended to all the state members to spread the voice about this report and so that's what we are doing. That's why we mention it when it is possible. So the a couple of other initiatives that are within the international framework that are promoted by the European Centre for Modern Languages and RAS in cooperation with the European Commission. One is ICT Rev, which is an inventory of web tools. You can, once again, you can surf it freely. You can find easily on the web. There are a lot of tools that you can serve just according to specific filters, so you can decide your objectives, maybe the skills you want to work, and then you want to work with, and then you can receive, you can have a series of different apps or web tools or platforms that you can use for your purposes. This other project, Innovative Methodologies and Assessment in Language Learning, is always promoted by ESML and European Commission, but it's on assessment, in particular for language learning. So it's another project which is just currently ongoing. YSCT Rev finished, but this inventory is the output that you can find and is still available. Always talking about the international scenario that can help you understand the importance of technologies or the digital dimension for CLIL and language learning. One is the review of the key competencies, the 2006 key competencies, and particularly I've been invited to as an expert to take part in the panel of experts working on the revision of the key competence on foreign language. But of course, there's the other that's the key competence on digital competence, which is strictly connected. And the other initiative that is ongoing is the formal consultation that has just ended, promoted by Brian Nord, on a new extended version of the Common European Framework. When the Common European Framework reference was issued in 2011, times were different, where so a lot of things changed since then. That's why revision, the experts are working on this new extended version. And in particular, a new descriptor will be included in this new version of the European Framework, that is online interaction. Sorry, online interaction, and online interaction is just the new descriptor that will appear in the new Common European Framework, and I've been involved on a pilot project in particular for this online interaction. So this is why this is easy to understand, because just inside the Common European Framework, online interaction, so online communication, the digital aspect will become an integral part of the framework for we talk about education 3.0, and you can see the evolution from education 1.0, education 2.0, education 3.0. The target. We're moving towards a wider process of learning and teaching, where everything is based on sharing, on co-constructivism, and also discussing formal and informal education. Because thanks to technology, as you can see, learning can take place everywhere, and with digital universe, through this socially constructed and contextually implemented meaning and so learning experiences. Our students have, among the other digitals, as Gavin said, they had the digital intelligence. So digital intelligence is made up of different components, as you can see, that teachers and trainers have to take into account. Digital literacy is one of these aspects. And to this extent, researchers have been working on a digital literacy framework. I'm putting here a recent book, Digital Literacy, written by Nikki Oakley, who is a great expert in this field, and other authors. As you can see, a digital curriculum has been designed, connecting different dimensions like the focus on connections, the focus on redesign, so remixing information, the focus on information, how you tag, how you search information on the web, and the focus on language, so the social communication, the type of message that you can convey through the web in the different formats like gaming, multimedia, text, mobile, and so on. Another framework, another work that I would like to mention, that is the result of a European project, it is the publication, which is the added value of ICT in plural literacy settings. So these experts talk about plural literacy for learning, teaching, because of course also for CLIL, for language learning, it's impossible to take into account only one literacy that could be in languages, in digital or whatever, but you have to talk about a literacy environment, learning environment. And here you can find a list of the different elements of learning environment, referring to the teaching and learning process, and the relevant ICT component or web app or tool that could be used to enhance this particular aspect of the learning experience. This is another reference that I think is quite important for within this dimension. From literacies to fluency. So we've been talking about literacies. Another step that we owe to these experts, Pocket Churches, is another European project. They talk about fluencies. So this is another step forward. So fluency includes and goes beyond skills and literacy. So our students must be not only literate, but fluent in a series of dimensions: solution fluency, creativity fluency, collaboration fluency, media fluency, fluency, and global citizenship. So this is just to mention some of the latest trends in the research, scientific research, interviewing language learning and technologies. The e-assessment is one of these research trends, so focusing on assessment with the use of technologies. And you can see here the definition for e-assessment, including the two components. I'm sorry, Lara, you're experiencing problems with the audio. I think it's your problem. What about the others? Maybe can the other say something in the chat about the audio? So you can now you're okay. Marina is recording it, so you can watch it later. But I hope that there's no problem with the audio, because I fixed it in middle, so it's gonna be fine. So another framework that I want to mention, which is also which includes and is a sort of research framework for including a lot of previous studies on personal learning environment and personal learning network, with a particular declination towards CLIL. You can see here the different some of the most important experts that worked in the field of personal learning environment, personal learning network, giving examples and frameworks. So the personal learning environment is the environment that a learner creates, including all the different apps or platforms or web tools or whatever to learn, in this case, CLIL, so a foreign language or subjects in a foreign language according to CLIL methodology. While personal learning network is a network that the learner creates to cross formal and informal learning. So the network with Facebook or with other social networks. So it's the learning experience that goes beyond your own personal learning environment to just expand the learning experience in a social perspective. And so all this could be read under a CLIL perspective, so towards to reach some goals relevant to CLIL, so the delivery of subject content in a foreign language. So some initiatives promoted by Indire, which is, as Marina told you, I'm a researcher at Indire. You know that Indire is the national, the Italian national agency for e-twinning is Indire, responsible with Indire, and the same with Erasmus Plus, and the same with Iridium. And so I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with all this. I would just like to mention, I think you're also familiar with European SchoolNet. Indire represents the Italian Ministry of Education, and our president is the chair of European SchoolNet. But maybe two initiatives. We'd like to mention two initiatives which are maybe which are quite popular for Italian teachers. I don't know if Italian teachers who are here know this. Two initiatives. One is Scuola Valore, which is a repository of material for teachers, but it's mainly in Italian. There are also videos and lessons and materials for language learning in different languages, so plurilingualism, but it's mainly in Italian. And Avanguardie Educative, which is a movement involving the school networks in Italy and trying to make innovation viral according to some specific innovative ideas which have been recorded within a manifesto signed by Indire together with the school network. So just look back to the past, some projects where in Italy the first experimentation of the link between CLIL and technologies was launched. We have this project in CLIL dating back to 2011. I was working at the Ministry of Education at the time, and I coordinated this project together with on behalf of the Ministry with Inspector Gisela Langer. The Ministry is one of the most famous experts in CLIL in Italy, but also at international level. And so you find this book once again in Italian. You can download it from the web. On this project, there was the project was aimed at guiding school networks in experimenting CLIL module with the use of technologies. Then we had the evolution of this project, which is called Redone for CLIL, another quite popular project in Italy that was aimed at guiding schools to guiding schools in the planning and experimentation of and experimenting CLIL modules with the use of technologies, and also with the integrating the extensive reading, so reading for pleasure. So the students had to get ideas from the graded readers they had read, get hints and inspirations on CLIL issues to develop in class. Students were the real protagonists of the learning process experience. And this project is now going on with new ways, according to some finance that some fundings, some bids that the ministry is assigning to networks. Another initiative we would like to mention is the CLIL. Maria and also some other Maria Rita and also some other CLIL is this book promoted by EVO, Electronic Village Online, TESOL International, and Laura too at CLIL. Thank you, Laura. So we had with Daniela Cucurulo, my colleague, we moderated this 5-week book, massive online course on CLIL and technologies, where we tried to give our 5,000 participants a wide range of web tools and of resources, repositories to use to implement CLIL in their classes with technologies. You can see the different media we used. We used platform, Facebook group. We'd like to invite all of you to look for CLIL group in Facebook and to join us, because this initiative takes place every year. So January 2018 we have new edition of CLIL, and so you can join us. It's everything free, of course. And in the Facebook group we post news and events, so you can get informed about the latest initiatives on technologies. So looking forward to seeing you next year in January 2018 for the next edition of CLIL. Then this is a survey project that we just presented yesterday to the ministry. I presented yesterday in this important convention in the Ministry of Education, where we had David Marsh, the inventor of the CLIL acronym, and it's originally for Italian, but I think this is just an international event, because the conference yesterday was half in English and half in Italian, but the majority of the contributions were in English. So I would recommend you should go to the Ministry of Education, Italian Ministry of Education website, viewer, and just Google viewer. You can find the official website of the Italian Ministry of Education, and there you find on the left the news about this conference that was called Leading Innovation through CLIL. That is the title of this convention, where you find David Marsh presentation. So it was recorded, all the conference was recorded, so you find the video. You can watch the video, and as I said, it's mainly in English. David Marsh in English, my contribution was in English as well, and also Spectre Lange, and also the web contributions from Cambridge, Cambridge English, Cambridge Assessment, Cambridge International, and then Trinity College, the British Council. So there were a lot of interesting contributions you can watch, and I presented there the results of the survey that we carried out in cooperation with the Ministry of Education on these CLIL projects of school year 2015-2016. Yes, I was reading in the chat box about next edition of TechnoCLIL. It's going to be in January, so just at the beginning of January, you could, if you join TechnoCLIL Facebook, of course we put the ad there, the announcement there. Otherwise, you can check the website of EVO, which is Electronic Village Online, and you find there a call for participation at the beginning of January. Just first, 2nd January, you find it open and you can register, and normally the course starts in 8th or 10th of January for 5 weeks. Okay, so then just to go on with some other information about the use of technologies for language learning and CLIL. This is an important publication by the British Council. You can find it freely on the web, on the website of the British Council. And it's interesting because you can find also examples of action research projects where teachers used web tools with their students. I'm just in the meantime I would like to answer Nino about the website, which is not the right one, but please write a complete Electronic Village Online, which is, so the acronym is EVO. So if you write the complete version, you will find it. I will leave you my email address for any clarifications, any questions, you can write me. And so I was saying, this publication, as you can see, this is an example for writing tools. Writing tools, teachers used Blogger. So what tools are teachers using? How are they being used? So you can find also the example, just not only theory, but the use of these technologies in class, how students react, what they actually did. So this is the action research perspective. So it's quite interesting to have a look at the real reactions and students. Some other suggestions for technology. I'm just giving some ideas that you can then maybe explore when you have time. Digital portfolio for CLIL. So you know that language teachers in Italy have been working on portfolio, and also because it was promoted by the Council of Europe. Now we have once again the digital portfolio in the new national training plan that was launched in October 2016 publication. And so there are specific tools like these ones you can see here, CISO or Mahara, where you can run digital portfolio for CLIL. For example, that can be used better for students to collect evidence in their learning pathways, or for the teachers to reflect on, as we did in TechnoCLIL. So sort of a learning diary to collect all the evidence and possible steps of the training experience to reflect and also get memories of this pathway. Then, if we wanted to focus on some specific skills, just giving examples, as I said, there's really a lot of resources and tools. I think that maybe with Marina you also explored a lot of possibilities, of opportunities that the web offers. VoiceThread and Vocaloid, if we are talking about speaking skills, the listening and speaking skills, so the audio-oral skills, these are very interesting because you can build up a sort of talking forum, so instead of have your students write in the traditional forum where they write their post, in this case they can speak, they can record their voice, and in this case, the corrections filter is a little bit lower, so they maybe feel more confident because they are recording it maybe at home. You can use this in a flipped classroom perspective and launch maybe some ideas, some themes of discussion that they can, that the teacher can also assess the oral production. So this could be a couple of ideas. Then, okay, Yolanda used Vocaloid. Okay, I'm very happy that it's popular and it's becoming more popular for language learning. If you want to talk about writing, which is another important issue when we talk about language learning, CLIL, where we want to assess, correct, give feedback or e-feedback to our students, these are a couple of suggestions where you can not only highlight the parts, the weaknesses in the text, and give feedback, give suggestions, but these suggestions can be also multimedia. As you can see in Casina, the teacher has highlighted the weak parts of the text, but also giving suggestions, so posting a link to a video that maybe is on a grammar mistakes or whatever, that grammar area that could be studied deeper, that could be revised, and so the teacher says, okay, this part, you maybe have some problems with this topic, with this grammar area, so have a look at this video and review, and or maybe she can assign more exercises on that topic. Moving towards the end, a couple of other ideas. I don't know if you're familiar with Formative, which is a very interesting website where you can assign work to your students, task-based or project-based learning, and you assign your students, you receive live results of the assignments because the students send it to you, and you can give immediate feedback to each of them. They receive their grade or feedback, and it's very powerful. But for rubrics is, if you want to, you can choose among a wide range of rubrics that are available in this Star, and they are divided into different sections, and then so there's a sort of lecture with subject different topics, and you can choose the one that is relevant to you. But if you want, you can create your own one. Cinzia Giulia has used Star, very good. How did you find it, Cinzia Giulia? It's quite effective because you can use it with your students, and what is important that you can use it with your own. You can adapt it, and create your own your needs. Very useful for cooperative learning. Very good. Cooperative learning is exactly. In fact, it has a specific function. You can also use rubrics for projects, for group work, for presentations, for things that students can have done, can have produced in groups, so on. So it's very powerful. Okay, and a couple of other resources that I mentioning here. The CLIL store. I don't know if some of you is familiar. If anyone is familiar with the CLIL store, maybe technically yes, because we mentioned it in last edition, not in 2017, but in 2016 we had also a webinar from Kevin Wilson, who is the inventor of this platform. The platform was the output of a research project and a European project funded by the European Commission. You see the old lifelong learning program that produced this sort of very big database inventory, CLIL lessons in plurilingual. It's a plurilingual database, so you can choose according to the filters you find different the language you want, and also the topic of the lesson you want to work, and then you can do it more according to the filters you can find the resources you're looking for in the language that you want. Is anyone familiar with this story? And the cooperative perspective is also interesting here, because you can not only download the lessons, the resources, but also upload your own resources. So this is very, very interesting, because you can share your resources with your with the community, the TOESL community. CLIL magazine is a magazine that was founded by Patrick Brewer, who is a science teacher working in the field in the Netherlands, working with CLIL, an expert. So this website collects a lot of resources on CLIL, and you can also sign up a newsletter and receive the updates in international things that are happening in Europe, in the world, on games, events, and so on. If you want to get ready for exams, I don't know if any of you is familiar with the IGCSE network. We had a meeting at 2 days ago with the Italian. It is just that's a network of IGCSE school in Italy, but it's international. So it's an initiative. It's a network that is spreading all over the countries. It's the International General Secondary Education Certificate, which is the British curriculum, and this is the international British curriculum, what children, what students can have taught subjects in English and curricula, so the timetable, and then they take exams. This is a Cambridge network, so they take exam the Cambridge board of examiners in the subjects or levels which are recognized by some universities in Italy, and this is something that is happening in countries. I don't know if anyone is familiar with IGCSE. Okay, Maria. Okay, initially this network is expanding, it's growing. I know that also in other countries is getting more into it. The good thing is that in Italy, CLIL became mandatory in 2010 in all upper secondary schools, and now with the law, the recent law 107 of one scuola, the good school reform, CLIL is expanding also starting from the primary school, so primary and lower secondary school, so its range is expanding. And so this IGCSE is a good way to make CLIL, because they just even if the curriculum of this subject is somehow is a bit different, because it's British with the international declaration, but anyway, it's the subject. This is an example of website to get to practice for the IGCSE exam maths, and also there's the social aspect. Students. cloud that our Laura and Maria will probably recognize, because it was the output of the collaborative tech cloud of our technology there, and our 6,000, actually 5,000 in Moodle and 6,000 in the Facebook group. So they were asked through the used this tool, I'm writing here, that I guess you're familiar with, asking them to write 3 words that were express their feelings for CLIL, so their perception of CLIL. And as you can see, the number of entries is so high that you can even words, because that's so small, but according to the cloud, so all the algorithm for which the most frequent word is the biggest in the cloud. So innovation, as you can see, is in the center. So it's also that CLIL is really linked to innovation. So I thank Marina for inviting me, a great pleasure. I've got some more minutes if you want to maybe ask some questions. Otherwise, I'm really happy to reply your emails for any doubts or clarifications. Thank you, Laura. Yes, okay, Marina, thank you. Yes, because I think that's equal when we have the mic together, but thank you, Nino. I hope you found the right website. I really hope. No problem, Laura, and the important thing that you sorted out finally.
Okay, so Letizia, maybe there are no questions, so I want to thank you for your contribution. And CLIL is very important for this learning event, because we are exploring new ways, fantastic ways of teaching English, and not only to reach fluency, but also for reaching the competencies, the key competencies, collaboration, so about the use of thinking skills, and CLIL is great for this. So I would like to remind you that Letizia organizes every year a TechnoCLIL course, which is fantastic. So I followed it twice, but I think that I will follow another one another time. And so I thank you, Letizia, for your contribution, and I remind to the participants that this evening I will open the last module, and it's called Teaching with Fun. And I will challenge you with a task, a fun task. So I hope that you will have a great evening. Thank again, Letizia, and bye.